Ba-dum, bum, bow. Okie dokie. Ba 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 ba. Yeah. Hey everyone, Drew Murray here from D20 Advice, and I would like to talk to you about a couple of things. The first is professional dungeon mastering. This is something that I've only recently come across as a thing, and it appears to be like this dream job for people. For those that follow my work, I've mentioned this a couple of times on a different channel, and this is something that I struggle to wrap my head around. The idea that someone will pay to have someone else run their game. And this is a service that I've in fact started offering. This is something that someone can hire me as a service, a dungeon master, to prepare and bring a game and present it to a bunch of people for a few hours. It bothers me in a few senses, because for some reason my ethical framework doesn't allow for me to be comfortable with charging for a service that I have always enjoyed for free. I've never paid to play Dungeons and Dragons, at least not the tabletop role-playing game. I've played to play the computer games. I have spent resources to get to games. I've had to pay for bus fare to get to a friend's house, bus fare to get to the center of the city if there was a convention or something going on. But there were small-scale conventions, free to get into. I'd never paid to play Dungeons and Dragons before. I'd bought the books, I bought supplies like dice and pencils, but I've never paid a person to run the game. Now, granted, most of the time I've been the dungeon master. I've been the one running the games. So I've never had the need to pay for someone to run the games, because that was me. I was the one running the games. But for nearly 20 years, I'd never come across this concept. And this is why it bothers me. Because this is something that I've always considered something that you just do for your friends. You run games of Dungeons and Dragons. Something I'm having to come to terms with is the fact that I am not everybody. And that everybody doesn't think and feel the way that I do. People don't find dungeon mastering as easy to come by as I do, apparently. It's something that intellectually I've known, but I've never truly felt. I've not felt that other people aren't wanting to be dungeon masters, aren't capable of being dungeon masters. And it may well be that the capability is within everyone, and it's just the buy-in, the effort to get yourself to the level where you can be a dungeon master might be more than some people are willing to pay. And so instead, they have money. They will pay someone else to provide them with the experiences that they so crave or want to see come to life. This is the nature of industry. And yet I can't find myself being incredibly comfortable with it. And yet it's a service that I'm providing now. It's something that I have made the choice. I am currently out of regular employment, so I am taking on small contract work when I can. And this is simply another contract that I've decided to offer, because it's a revenue stream. I need to look after my family. I just can't wrap my head around it. I don't think that I would ever find myself in a position where I would want to pay someone else to run a game for me. Now, it may be that I just find more enjoyment in running the games in the first place, and so I wouldn't find myself in that position. But trying to think about it, are there other people in that sort of position? People where they offer a service that they would not purchase themselves. And not because the service is subpar. I would like to say that I'm a very good dungeon master. I've had years of experience. Lots of my groups stay for many years. They will stick out a single campaign for years on end. So I would like to think that I'm fairly successful at this. My services are being asked for as well, which is a very nice feeling. I never do well with nice feelings. I get these sort of butterflies, and I keep trying to shy away from it. I can't take compliments well either. Someone tries to compliment me, try and shy away. Point to a big distraction. But professional GMing is something that I'm trying to become more comfortable with. And is there this analogy that I can find elsewhere? Well, would people who provide buses ride buses? Possibly. But in all likelihood, the engineers that are designing buses, selling buses to bus companies that then operate them on the streets, and the people that operate them, they'd likely drive cars. They'd likely find their own way to get about rather than taking the bus. But does that say that the car is better than the bus? I don't think that's a good analogy to use, because I'm not choosing a better, more personalized version of the service. I'm taking advantage of the same service I'm offering. I'm just not paying for it, because it's me doing it. I suppose there isn't a great analogy that I can think of right now. This is something of an imagination black spot. I can't imagine a service or industry that's similar. Therapy, you need another person to provide you with some therapy. Or rather, that would be the ideal. I don't think I would find myself in a position where I would be purchasing my services. However, it's a thing. It's a service that people are offering. And I am probably going to regret making this video the way that I have. The fact that I appear to be so down on the idea of paying for a professional DM. But I would like to offer an alternative idea. That being a professional DM is nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to think harshly on. It is simply, you have the time and the resources to do something for someone. And they desperately want you to do it for them. It's just like being good at gardening and someone asks you to come and do their garden. If it's a friend, you might give them mates rates. If it's a complete stranger, you would charge them for your time. It's the same, but it strikes me as odd. And I think it may also be the lack of ubiquity. The fact that this isn't an industry that is established. It's not set. Gardeners, the examples are all around, so people would expect to pay for it. But because I don't expect to pay for this service, I always have this nagging doubt in the back of my mind. I keep thinking, is the other person really wanting to pay for this? When it comes time to talk about the transaction, is this going to be a comfortable interaction? Or is this going to be very uncomfortable? Are they going to try to talk me round to providing this for free? And because of my mindset, am I going to be easily swayed? Am I going to be easy to talk around to providing this service for free because I've always had it for free? And I struggle with the idea of it being this paid-for service. I would like to wager that that's perhaps what I'm afraid of most. That someone is going to contend that they shouldn't have to pay for the service. Of course, this is a nightmare scenario that I've dreamt up entirely. I've never come across someone who complains about this as much as I do. I'm probably going to be my biggest critic. It's something I'm worried about. It's something I'm concerned about. It's something I thought I would share with you guys. What do you guys think? Is professional DMing something that is likely to cause problems, do you think? Or is it something that is a required service, something that people around the world would like to see happen so that they can enjoy the games more? I would love to hear people's thoughts about this, because I feel a little adrift at sea. I've not fully settled on how comfortable I am with this. But yes, let me know, and I'll get back to you with another topic at some point. Probably today, because I've now got faster upload speeds. Hey! So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.